Creating content doesn't have to be hard. In this video, I'll show you how, with a small investment, you can make your video editing and production much faster and much easier. Welcome in. My name is Dr. Dan Kreiness. I'm a content creator and the host of the Leader of Learning podcast. As a YouTuber, I've shown you that in the last couple of videos, one of my favorite video tools for editing is Davinci Resolve. Here in this video, I want to show you a great graphics pack by Motioncan called Toko Graphics 4.0 that will make editing in Davinci Resolve so much easier. And for a small investment, you can be able to create great videos in Davinci Resolve way faster and way easier. Before we go any further, I just want to get a couple of disclaimers out of the way. First, I was reimbursed for the graphics pack, but I am not being sponsored or paid in any way, so that all of the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone and completely unbiased. I also want to let you know that I'm gonna save the installation part of installing the graphics pack till the end of this video, because I really want to make sure you don't make the same mistakes I did when you go to install this, and that there are some really important steps that you need to make sure you follow. So I'm gonna save that till the end. Make sure you stick around to check it out. First things first, let's start with how to actually purchase and download this graphics pack. Definitely follow the link that's in the description in this video, and when you do, it'll bring you to this page where you can purchase the Motioncan graphics pack on the Envato market. You'll want to go ahead and add it to your cart, but you'll notice that there are two different license categories, a regular license and an extended license. I do want to point out that both of these categories are extremely similar, but for the average user, you really don't want or don't need to use the extended license. What that's for is really for commercial use. So if you're using it for feature films, commercials, anything that's really considered commercial use, that's when you would need the extended license, not the regular license. However, both licenses provide the same tools, packs, and features for unlimited use, and they provide you with not just unlimited use, but you'll get any new updates and add-on packs for free for the life of this license once you actually purchase it. Let me just scroll down this purchase page a little bit here, because I want to show you all of the amazing things that you get in this graphics pack for just $69. Again, great bang for your buck. So you can actually download a preview here and you'll see all of the 2,250 elements that you get. You get lots of graphics and of course those fonts that we already showed you. The auto resize feature is really great, and I'll demonstrate that in a second, but basically depending on whether you want to go landscape or portrait, these graphics will help allow you to do that very easily. They're fully resizable. You even get sound effects here, and these are all of the categories. One of the things that I recommend that you do once you purchase these is to actually, and I will link this in the description as well, open up the link that actually allows you to preview the different elements that you get in this graphics pack. So I'll just highlight some of them. A lot of them are linked here in these categories that are on the left-hand side of the screen, but everything from typography elements to backgrounds, social media, which I think is really, really great. Titles are awesome here, and what's cool, and I'll show you in a second and I'll demonstrate, is not only can you change the text, but you can also change the colors and a little bit of the styling to the titles. Lower thirds, if you want to do a video like a talking head video and introduce yourself and explain a little bit about who you are and what you do. So these are titles here, big titles. Those are really great as well. And I'm just going to quickly scroll all the way through. So you have shapes, icons. I know I'm going really fast, but there's so many, over 2,000 elements here. Interface items, different gradients that are animated themselves. Let me stop on the gradients. These are really cool. You can use them as backgrounds as well. Callouts are really great. Infographics, if you are representing a certain data set or statistics or anything mathematically, those may come in really handy, even if you want to show off how many subscribers you have on social media. Text messages, which I think here I want to stop too for a second. We have devices. I'll show you once we get into Davinci Resolve how you can actually customize these devices elements to actually show your own image or logo or graphic in them. And then we have transitions, and what I really love are these camera transitions as well as the overlay transitions. And then finally we have some glitch elements and glitch overlays and just so many things that are going to really make your video editing and production in Davinci Resolve so much easier and so much faster. So at this point, I think the best thing to do is just dive into Davinci Resolve and check it out. All right, here we are in Davinci Resolve, and I really can't show you all 2,250 elements here in the graphics pack, but I will demonstrate some, and I'll show you how easy it is not just to use them, but to customize them and even auto resize them to fit your needs and to fit the resolution of the video that you are producing here in Davinci Resolve. So again, let's start with titles. You come to titles and open it up and you see the Toko graphics. Now you can pick obviously from any of these that you like. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'll just grab one here and I'll show you how to do it. All right, slide it onto the timeline. You can do it by itself as a standalone element, or you can always add this on top of a video that you have and overlay it on top. But in order to customize now these elements, you're gonna wanna come up to the inspector. This is the inspector area. If you don't see the inspector yet, you might have to just click on inspector up at the top to open it up. Make sure you're on the video tab, and then we have some menu options here. If you expand the edit text option, here's where you can customize what this element actually says. So there's one box to edit, and if you scroll down a little bit, here is another one. Leader of Learning is my brand and podcast, so that's what I will customize this to say. And if you scroll down even more, you see in this particular title element that we have some subtitles or text at the bottom that's a little bit smaller, so don't forget about that. Maybe I want to put my website in here so I can customize that text as well. In order to resize the text, you can either slide this bar up and down here, or you can always just change the numbers here to fit your needs. Once we have the text the way that we like it and saying what we want it to say, you can always further customize any of these elements. And for example, you can change the colors. So if I want to make this a little bit more on brand, I might select by clicking on the color, and let's just make this a little bit more for this color. I'm going to make it more blue like that. Okay, so that's editing the color of the text A. Text B is pretty similar. Text C is the one that I have at the bottom of the screen. I don't know, let me make that red. Okay, a couple other ways that you can change the colors here with the sliders. You could literally just choose which color, or you can get a little more fine-tuned with the spectrum, or here with the pencils. I'm just going to pick red and leave it like that. You can even change the background color. Let's go this time with something in the silver. I'll make it a little darker. Yeah, that's good. And you'll notice what I'm doing here is changing the way the gradient looks depending on how I slide these little triangles. If you can see in the bottom right hand corner, that circle there, as I slide this one more to the right, it's more blue. As I slide it to the left, there's more of that pinkish purple color. So you can even customize exactly what you want those gradients to be like in each of those elements. Once I get this title the way that I like, I can, of course, preview how it's gonna look. And obviously, as I hit the play button, we can actually see it in real time. I can make the element shorter or longer by just simply dragging it like I would any element in DaVinci Resolve, any video or other element. And then when you play it, you'll see the graphic, actually the animation slows down a little bit, and now it's a little bit longer. So if you need longer or shorter elements, you can customize it that way as well. So that was an example of one of the typography elements that comes in this graphics pack. What I've done here in my edit page is just minimized each of the drop-down menus so you can again see all of the different categories of elements that come in this graphic pack. Just going to show you a couple of more here. Let's go with social media. Social media has many different elements in it, but let's just say you want to add a subscribe element to a YouTube video. You would, and actually let me show you this. If you might want to, if it makes it easier, what I like to do is to go back to this folders preview. So if I'm looking for a social media graphic or element, I'll click on social media, and I might just want to find it here first because sometimes I get a little bit lost in DaVinci Resolve when there are so many, over 2,000 elements here. So if I look and I see one that I like for a YouTube subscribe button, like maybe here, social media 78. I'll remember that number, so when I go back to DaVinci Resolve, I'm gonna look for 78. All right, and here we find social media 78. I can easily drag that onto my timeline, take a look at how it's gonna look. And if I did wanna edit the text, you can do that easily here. See how now it says my channel and other elements as well. So even if you didn't want it to say subscribed at first, you could change that too. Matter of fact, I'd probably reverse those, but easy to do right here in DaVinci Resolve. All right, let's go into one final type of element here. And on this one, I'll show you what the resizing is like. Just a quick demonstration. In order to resize the resolution in DaVinci Resolve, click on Project Settings. And let's say you want to, instead of having an HD video or a high definition video, or rather a 4K video in horizontal resolution, you can just click Use Vertical if you're doing something like Reels or Shorts. And now you'll notice that in the preview window, you have a vertical resolution. Let's go to gradients this time and grab one that we like here. I'll use this gradient number 10. And so here it's in vertical resolution. If you wanted to go back to a horizontal resolution, simply change that again in your project settings. And now check that out. It just auto resized kind of right before our very eyes. Now for one final demonstration, let's put a few of these elements together, and I especially want to show you how we can even add sound effects, because this graphics pack comes with 600 different sound effects that you can use as well. So we still have this gradient in the timeline. Let's go with a background as well, just so that we can add a transition in between them. Right now, this is what it would look like, just switching from one to the other. But let's say we want to grab a, let's go to video transitions and Toko, and let's do an overlay transition. There, we'll just do like a little wipe. So we go from one into the other. My computer's being a little slow right now, but you can see that one slides away as the other one comes in. And now what we can do is add a sound effect in while that transition is happening. In order to do that in Davinci Resolve, head to your media page, and you'll need to find where on your computer that Toko Graphics folder is located. For me, it's right on my desktop. So I'll double click it and go into Extra Materials and Sound Effects. What kind of sound effect would I want to add here on this white transition from one video to the next, or in my case, one gradient background to another background? Well, let's go with whoosh sound. In order to preview these, you can just hover over them and slide from side to side, just like we did with the elements before, after we installed the fonts. And let's say we like this one. Okay, once you find the sound that you like, drag it down into your media pool. As a matter of fact, you can even drag down several of them if you're not really sure, or if you think you're going to actually use more than one. Once you have the sound or sounds that you'd like to use in your project, head back to the Edit tab and you'll see them now even showing up in the media pool on your Edit tab. Once you find the one you like, drag that onto your timeline right where that effect, or in this case the transition, is going to happen, and let's preview how it's going to look and sound. Let's try seeing what another sound would be like. Make sure we get it just the way we want it. To change the volume level, you can even hover over and drag the wave up and down to make it a little lower or higher in terms of the volume. Yeah, and again, I think that sound might be just a little long, so if we wanted to make it shorter, we can do that as well. One more time. Yeah, that's great. All right, let's get into the installation process for this graphics pack. Like I said, the installation is quick and easy, but there are a couple of steps that I don't want you to miss. First off, you should know that when you click the link in the description in this video and download the graphics pack, you get a zip file, and once it's unzipped, you open the folder and there are more folders with tutorials and other information and instructions for installation, as well as the README file. It is important to open up that README file And I'm going to get back to why in just a few minutes, but let's first go ahead and click on the installer pack. Okay, and go through the on-screen instructions, license agreement. You have to click agree to that. It'll take up 476.9 megabytes. Install, type in your password. And we see now that the installation is complete, and it even tells you please restart Davinci Resolve now. I haven't actually opened Davinci Resolve yet, so let's open it up and take a look. All right, so now I'm in Davinci Resolve, and to check and see whether or not the Toko Graphics Pack has been installed, let's go to Titles and click the caret next to the word Titles, and we can see that Toko Graphics is now in. So we've done some of the installation process correctly so far, but I do want to caution you that unless you read the README file first and carefully, you will notice that something is wrong. In Davinci Resolve, you should be able to actually preview what these graphics will look like, and right now I can't, even when I drag my mouse up and down. I would also probably be able to see the graphics being animated even here in Davinci Resolve, and I don't. So this is the important step that I don't want you to miss. And let me go back and show you exactly what to do in order to avoid this situation. All right, so remember I said that the README file was really important, and the reason for that is here. It says, don't forget to install the required fonts, otherwise the animations won't work. You can still change the fonts later. In order to get the graphics to be shown and to actually work properly in Davinci Resolve, you have to make sure that you go through this step to install the fonts. Here's how. Come to this section where it says download used fonts. It does give you all of the fonts in individual links. However, my recommendation, click the one that says all fonts in one archive. I'm going to open it up. And this is what you are sent. It says Leo S sent you one item. Go ahead and download that. Okay, unzip the new file that's been put on your computer. Mine went right to my desktop. And then go into the folder called used fonts. And my recommendation is to open up each of these individual folders. Some will have a short amount, a few fonts, and some will have a lot. What I recommend to do is to actually highlight as many are in there. You don't need the text files, and then right click and click open. You'll get a preview of the font and then click install, and now all of those fonts have been installed on your computer. Follow the same process for the rest of these fonts, and then we'll see that when we go back into Davinci Resolve, we have resolved our issue of not being able to see the graphics animated. Once you've gone through and opened and installed the fonts in those 6 folders, there are 5 more that just couldn't be included with the rest. So now it's important that you open the download 5 more folder and follow the on-screen instructions to be able to install these 5 more fonts. Okay, I've gone ahead and installed all of the fonts that I needed to. Now to double check, I can come in here to my fonts file or folder on the computer and just double check. And I remember that one of the fonts that I needed to download was Chunk 5, and so that's in there. Another one, if you just want to double check and make sure, I remember was Roboto, and so here it is. There's Roboto right there, and so it looks like I have been successful in installing my new fonts. So let's check by going back into Davinci Resolve, and we will know that if we did this correctly, we should see the graphics be animated in the edit page on Davinci, as well as being able to really preview them as you hover over them. So again, let me go into titles and into the Toko Graphics, and now you can see that every time you hover over them, we are able to see the animation in the preview window. So we have definitely installed our fonts correctly. Make sure you don't miss that step during the installation. I really hope you've enjoyed this demonstration on the Toko Graphics Pack by Motioncan, and that it helped you make an informed decision about whether purchasing it is right for you or not. If it is, great. Make sure you visit the link in the description so that you can land on the page that'll allow you to purchase and then download the graphics pack. I'd also love for you to leave a comment letting me know whether or not the graphics pack is right for you, and of course, if you purchase it, how you're going to use it to help you create your videos. And of course, if you liked the content that I shared in this video and my demonstration of the graphics pack, please give a thumbs up to this video. And as always, I would appreciate a subscription to my channel so that you can continue to get more content like this.